Hey YouTube, it's your beekeeper here. March 22nd, 2020. Hope everybody's staying healthy, getting some rest, washing your hands, doing what we're supposed to be doing in these crazy times. Had quite a bit of rain here in Northern California. You can see the trees are dropping a lot of leaves because it's been pretty windy. Clogging my drain there. I mean, what's going on, right? And you see that old my barbecue there laying on its side. That's getting sectioned up and thrown in the trash. It's I haven't used it in about 3 years, maybe 4 years. It's hard to say. It's hard to justify keeping something that long and not using it, and it's just got to go. And it's typical coastal stuff, so it's got a lot of rust on it. It's time to go. Look, the apple trees are popping. Excuse me, I had to pull them out of the ground because the gophers just ruined them. They just ate them down to nothing once again. So I put them in those 55-gallon water drums, and we're going to see how they do in there, and hopefully the gophers won't get to them, and we'll keep the coyotes from eating the apples off them. The last 3 or so years, coyotes have figured out I have apple trees in my yard, and I haven't had one apple off of them. So here's the mess, boy. I haven't been in the shop since my motorcycle accident on January 15th. I think I took this video on the 15th or the 16th, right around the 2 month or the 8 week anniversary of me getting destroyed on my bike riding home from work. And this shop's kind of a mess, so I've just got stuff everywhere. There's the alternator from the sawmill project. I mean, there's just so much I haven't cleaned up. And then again, the last 2 months have been full of just work and physical therapy and whatnot. But the arm is feeling well. The shoulder's healing up real nice. I had a full thickness tear of the flex. And my dad made that. My dad made that dustpan back in probably the 60s. It's pretty cool. I like it. Anyhow, the flexor tendon, my index finger on my right hand, wasn't healing right, so we had another MRI done on it, and it turns out I had a full thickness tear of that tendon. So about 2 weeks ago, I had a quick little procedure done, micro type surgery to get my finger flexor tendon in my finger reattached. And it's making some recovery, so I'm hoping to get some good use back in my right hand. It's a bummer because that's my dominant, but anyhow, I got to get out of the shop, man. Like I said, this is around the 15th or 16th of March when I took this video. I've been kind of sitting on it for a minute just because I've been busy with work, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But here's a project. I just had to get into the shop. Good grief, I haven't been in here in months, and it hurts the inside part of me that doesn't like to be hurted when I'm not out here creating and welding and getting my hands dirty and fabricating. So I took on this silly project for an office mate. She's got one of those old school grocery carts that flip out. You'll see more of it later in the video, but she had it full of stuff, and um, she was coming through a doorway and whacked one of the wheels in the doorway and bent the wheel really bad. And she's like, "Hey, do you think you could fix this?" And I said, "I don't know. I think it's gonna break." And sure enough, I tried to straighten it there, and the wheel, the edge of the last 4 inches or so of the axle broke. That's the word I'm trying to get out of my own mouth. And I said, you know what? It's cool. I'll take it home. I'll figure out what's going on. I'll weld it up and I'll return it. And she's like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. That's too much trouble. You're too sweet. I'll buy another one. I'm like, no, keep it out of the landfill. And I don't mind, really. It's good therapy for my hand, but it doesn't go as well. Well, you'll see. We'll just keep rolling here, and we'll see what happens here when I try to manipulate my digits to do what I want them to do. But turns out there, and you'll see better as I start assembling it, there was a cotter pin drilled into the axle right as it goes into the frame of this grocery getter. And my damn phone won't stop. Oh no, actually no, wait, we got dead batteries. We got dead batteries in my welding mask, so I'm taking pictures of the batteries so I know what number to get. And I thought I had it working. You did the old pant rub thing there, warm them up a little bit, and it turned on for about 3/4 of a second. I was like, yeah, look, it works. And then I put it together, and then it was dead. So I had to refer to the old Harbor Freight, which is part of the frustration level you're going to see from me here in a minute. I'll get more to that in just a minute. But yeah, thumbs down. So the coworker's axle, yes. So it's drilled with a pretty decent sized cotter pin right where the axle kind of lines up with the frame of this thing. And they had a pin in there which kept the axle from sliding left to right, but it's kind of useless because they have springs to keep the wheels spaced out. See, I'm getting frustrated here, and because that Harbor Freight only has 2 light sensors, and when you do low voltage TIG welding, low amperage TIG welding, oftentimes it won't pick up the weld, and it blinks in your eyes and flashes, and it just irritates. Which is why I upgraded to that nice helmet that I bought, because it has 4 light sensors, and it's perfect for TIG welding, because when you get that really, really low light, man, it'll see it, and it'll shade down really fast, and you don't get flashed. But what I decided to do here, okay, here it comes. All right, here's the old Steve. This is, yeah, there he is. That's the guy I don't try to let get to the surface too often. Anyhow, I went outside and I kicked the dog and, you know, punched the cat, and then I got back to work. And then I figured out where to position my head to where the light from these, my hand's not working right, and you know, with TIG welding you need some manual dexterity. So my right hand is working like a brick with sticks sticking out of it, and I kept getting flashed. So what I decided to do is weld up the axle where it broke, which is right where it meets the frame. And then I decided to flip the axle and weld up the hole. I recognized that as a weak spot of that thin little axle, and I decided to weld up the cotter pin hole on the other side. And we didn't really need that cotter pin, honestly, because the springs, and you'll see as I assemble it, the springs keep the wheels spaced out just fine. And by drilling that hole for the cotter pin, you removed probably 65 or 70% of the material. It's crazy how big of a hole they drilled to stick that dang little cotter pin in there. So I welded it all up there. It's mostly straight. I mean, come on, it's a stupid grocery cart, right? But it's just me. So now we're going to weld the other side. I took the flapper disc and I cleaned the paint off where the other hole is. So we're going to come in, we're going to get a good heat on it, and we're going to fill that hole with weld. Nothing too fancy, but ouch, ouch. Okay, that's good, right? Okay, see, calm Steve. Calm Steve doesn't throw things. Well, yeah, okay. So I flipped it over. We're going to weld the hole on the other side. And even though it is a cheap little grocery cart, yeah, I know, right? So I put the thing in the lathe because I want to be able to shape it. And I could have easily done this with the flapper disc, but yeah, I just like irritating myself. So I couldn't get a good, I know how thin this material is, and I've cut thin material like this before on the lathe. You need to make your cuts really, really close to the head of the lathe. Otherwise, it flexes and then bends, and then just it goofs up the whole program. So I've got the area that I need to lathe really close to the machine. So I needed to use a cutter that could get me in close. So that's why I changed it. There we go. We'll take it out. Ah, look at that. Like butter. So let's do the other side. And yeah, we'll see how it all goes together. Why did I take this video? I don't know. Maybe I thought something exciting would happen. Something more exciting than me getting mad and stomping my feet like a freaking 5-year-old. There you go. That's a good cut, buddy. High speed wheel right there. But I just thought I'd let you know that I'm trying. I'm doing what I can to get out. Now that my physical therapy's all been canceled with everything that's going on. Yeah, of course I'll put a little bit of paint in there. But I'll do another video about all of that, like an actual injury update video. But I thought I'd just show you guys that I'm still here, I'm still around, still splitting firewood with 1.5 hands now. I'm not all left-handed, which is pretty cool. I'm going through my inventory of cotter pins there. I'm trying to find something that'll fit, and I do. I do. Let's put everything back. Yeah, that index finger is still it's in a splint called a stack splint. And it immobilizes the finger so the flexor tendon will heal. That's the plan. We'll be in there till at least March 30th at the earliest. We've got another meeting with the hand surgeon. That lady did a pretty cool job on me, I think. I don't know. I was awake. I watched it. She didn't make any mistakes. Didn't leave any instruments in my finger. See the spring there, how it spaced out? Didn't leave anything in there, I think. Everything heals up nice. Now it's just a matter of getting it to move like I want it to move. Put a new cotter pin in, clip the tails off, tap that little cap back in there. That's it. The old grocery getter. Oh yeah, and the front wheels, man. Look at the angle of that front right wheel. Looks like a Dodge 4-wheel drive truck. I don't know how she assembled it or how it was assembled, but that wheel was loose. So I did a quick alignment on it, tightened her up, gave her a tune-up, rotated the tires. And that, my friends, is that. All right. Appreciate you watching. Stay safe. Stay clean. Gotta go. Gotta run. See ya.